G'day guys, welcome back to this next video on the Udemy course on Focchi Facades. In this video we're going to be continuing our facade installation. If you remember in our last video we configured our solar collectors, and as you can see here we have our solar collector units spaced out along the side of our apartment building. In this video we're going to be switching over sides and we're going to be configuring our photovoltaic cells on the opposite side of the building. So fundamentally the exact same process of how we're going to input our selections. So let's continue where we started. Initially, what I wanted to do was go back into our snap options and unselect our floor slab and roof visibility and snap. This will give us a clearer view of our building, and we can now view just the exterior walls initially. So let's get started. As I said, we're going to be playing with our photovoltaic unit. We're going to be inputting those. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave the thickness as 1,200. Our insulation thickness will also be 155 millimeters, and our finish will be timber back again. So we're going to have a timber finish along the full length of the building as well. So as I said, we're going to start from this corner here on the left-hand corner using the left click, and then right-clicking on the opposite corner where our wall will exist. And I'm going to move up all the way to the top of the basement level. So as you can see, the program knows that I want to limit the height up till the top of the ground floor level. Basement level, as you can see here, and you can see here that my teal square is present. If I click again, I'm here able to add a reference. Now, once we're here, I'm going to change my height to 3625 millimeters. My thickness will stay again 1,200, 155. Photovoltaic panel. Now, this height will be 2,800 and the thickness will be 1150. So we're going to leave it here like this. So now I've accepted those changes, and as you can see, we've come across the same issue we had in the last video. So let's treat it exactly how we did before. Let's go to our erase button. Let's select the panel which didn't get recognized as a panel with a solar collector, just a panel. And then we can go to our copy function. I'm going to select this panel to copy. I'm going to right click now, and I'm going to choose the initial position of my my copy, holding down the shift key and moving towards the right. Now, once I'm happy with the placement, left click again, and as you can see, I've inserted right click to now submit those changes. And perfect, we've got our solar panels. Now, what I wanted to do was actually move the panel higher up and leave the excess timber spacing at the bottom. So what I can do here is I can now go to my edit function. I can come over here, and this bottom margin, I'm gonna let's start off with 400 and see how it looks. Maybe we'll keep it as 700, corresponding to the opposite. For our solar collectors, we used 700 too, so we can actually make it now. As you can see, this is a repeated reference. 700, and this is now 11. Oh, maybe 12. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. We've got our solar collectors. Our photovoltaic units inserted. Now, that's what they look like from the side. As you can see, it goes up to the top of our basement floor, and that's corresponds as well to the opposite end as well for our solar collector units. Now, I can do that here as well if I want to. So here we go. I can move this up to 700. And once I've done that, Okay, perfect. So there's our inputted panels. Now, to complete this wall, let's adopt the exact same methodology. Go back to our linear option to input our units, and let's move up. So here we go, photovoltaic units, 1,200, 155, correct, and my finish will be timber. And I'm going to start at the bottom here and move across to the end. Left click again, and now specifying my height. Now, as you can see, at the point where I'm able to select the top level, that is where I'm going to, I can even zoom in here and show you guys. There. Now, once I'm here, my height will be 2,900. My insulation will be 155. My thickness 1150. And my height here will be 2,800. And we're going to leave the bottom margin. We can always play with that later. And there we go. So we've inputted that. Again, we have the same issue with our adjacent panel. Our last panel on the right hand side. As I said, this happens because the program is trying to fit the panel into a certain positioning, but it's easily fixed with a copy function here. So right click, again, holding down the shift key, moving across. And once I'm at the end, I can click again, and the program will recognize that these two are connected, and it will connect it together, as you can see. And we have the exact same locations here. Now, once that's done, the rest of the process is quite easy. So copying all of ours using the copy function, right click to submit that copy. Then let's start on the bottom left here, holding down the shift key and moving up until you reach the top here, and then holding down the shift key again and moving up again to start to insert our last level. Perfect. Now right click to submit those options, and there we go. We've got our solar collectors inputted quite nicely onto our exterior face of our design. Now, once again, you can go through each one and do it separately, one by one, but this is just obviously a quicker process that we can go through, and we can configure quite nicely. Now again, for the sake of demonstration, in this design, I've opted for a solar collector units on one side of the building and PV panels on one side. Usually we just stick with one, but that doesn't really matter. We can of course level out and actually design our energy rating and see, for instance, which side of the building actually does produce or which side of the building does actually generate electricity better, and this sort of thing, which is quite important when looking at energy rating designs and stuff like that. So there we go, guys. We've inserted and configured our photovoltaic and solar collector cells on each side of our apartment building. Next, we're going to be looking at this side of the building, and we're going to be configuring our double window, single window, and opaque units all across here. And doors, sorry, for our bottom level. And this is going to be a little bit more difficult. For instance, this takes quite a while to understand the dimensions and to figure out the dimensions, because we're going to be using the measurement tools, and I'm going to be giving you guys some tools as well. For instance, I'm going to be reading out some of the dimensions that you might want to use for this here. But by the end of the course, you should be quite familiar with configuring our fixed window and door options for facades, looking at the different input options and configuration and positioning as well. All right, guys, see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.